Why is it that modern women aren't willing to the accept that men and women are different in more ways than they are the same? Well, the consequences of their actions are extremely different as well. Good question. The reason why I think a lot of women aren't willing to accept that men and women are different is honestly just what they being taught and when they grow up. A lot of women don't hear reality and truth until they get older. So you gotta understand something, bro. You see it in my chat a lot when women come in and say delusional stuff. Even on TikTok, you see it a lot, and even in my comments on my videos, you see it a lot. Um, a lot of women don't grow past the age of 14, and they aren't being told the truth. A lot of women are raised and are very coddled. They're not really held accountable for their actions. They can use their wit. They can use their I guess femininity to kind of manipulate and use words and to try to manipulate. So a lot of times people are scared to tell younger women the truth, just on life, just on how their bad decisions can affect them. And then you have a lot of older women that are very bitter and hurt and mad. So they don't instill those traits into these younger women as well. So a lot of times these younger women are not really understanding life and things until they get older and they hearing it from men that they deal with in the dating market. The problem is the man that they're dealing with in the dating market is not a man that they were raised to be dealing with. You know, a lot of the guys that they deal with in the dating market are men that they chose themselves. Problem is women don't know how to choose men correctly. A lot of women don't want a good man until it's too late. So when it comes to hearing truth, this is a great question. This goes into also leadership. A lot of women don't understand leadership. A lot of women think leadership is control. A lot of women think leadership is most women in their mind, and if it don't apply, let it fly, ladies. But a lot of women in their mind, when they think of leadership, what they're thinking about is a man paying bills, a man buying them a house, a man taking them on a date, a man taking them on a trip somewhere, a man protecting them physically, a man doing for them that makes them better, right? But only in the sense of things that they don't have to change, right? So they don't have to change anything as far as their behavior when it comes to um, everything that I just said. But true leadership is a man that's going to want you to be a better woman. And that applies with everything in life. And see, this is where a lot of women start to get confused because they've never been told by their mothers and fathers what a man does when he wants to be a true leader. A true leader is going to hold you accountable for your actions. A lot of women want these high value men, but they don't want to operate under the standard that the high value men are going to set, which means that you're going to operate accordingly to what that man is going to want you to do. He's going to tell you things that he needs you to do, or he's just going to tell you things where you could be better. And a lot of women struggle with understanding that, and they're not being told that when they're young. Either their fathers are soft or a bit, you know what I'm saying, or their mothers are just again bitter, hurt, traumatized. So they're not being told these things up front, and this is where a lot of women don't know how to be led. They think they know how to be led, but they really don't know how to be led. Um, so I think the reason why a lot of modern women can't accept the reasons that men and women are different is because their first time hearing it is at 25. Their first time hearing it is at 31. So if you've been thinking the same way your entire life and you 25 years old and a man comes across and tell you something that you need to do or tell you something that this doesn't operate like this, it's going to be a very, very bad thing to hear, and it's going to be a learning curve that is going to take, unfortunately, trial and error to figure out, or they just never figure out, you know? So um I think that's why, bro. I think we not teaching our daughters, we not teaching these young girls and daughters to live in reality. We teaching them the fairy tale princess mindset. A lot of women still got that princess mindset since they was like 12, you know? Um, so I think that's why, bro. I think that's why. And it was different from like y'all's generation. Not saying that y'all generation just got all fucking saints, but y'all generation ain't shit either. But it's less in y'all generation because y'all saw y'all grandparents and great grandparents and y'all parents probably instilled these traits in y'all to where if you don't know, you probably heard it before. See, my generation don't know at all. A lot of that I'm saying right now, for the people of my generation, this is like alien language to them. This is crazy. I'm the worst man in the world. You know what I'm saying? But this is the stuff that worked, and we have historical context that can prove that it worked. You know, we can look at like the lack of single parent households that were had in the past compared to now. We can look at the marriage rates in the past compared to now. We can look at the divorce rates from the past compared to now. We can look at all of these things. We can look at the likelihood that your child was going to be a criminal and all of these things based on percentages and based on men and women um, you know, being together and raising children and doing things the right way. So where I come in as a person who likes to enlighten people, and I run my TikTok show, run my YouTube show, and people ask questions and I give answers. But for a lot of women, it becomes, and sometimes men too, it ain't just women, but a lot of women usually it becomes a pushback. And not to mention also too, biology always going to be play a part into it as well. Women are just naturally emotional, bro. They're just not naturally logical people. So when you're dealing with an emotional creature, you have to make sure that um, you gotta be patient, you know. And I'm a lot less patient with men than I am with women. And y'all could probably notice that if you watch my live enough. But I still get to the point. I don't have time. And then we also have another thing too, bro. Where a lot of people like stuff to be sugar coated. I'm not a sugar coater. That's why a lot of people don't like me, because they expect me to be nice. They expect me to be politically correct. They want me to make it sound good to them. So a lot of women, they'll come up on my show and they're women in the comments, "Oh, you mean, you're rude." Yeah, but am I wrong? That's the real question. Am I wrong? Oh, okay then. I'm not talking to 12-year-olds. I'm talking to a 34-year-old woman. I'm talking to a 28-year-old man. These are grown adults who are able to vote and buy homes and go to school and buy cars and live life every day. I don't have time to be soft with your mother. You need to figure it out. And you've been being either not told the right way, you know what I'm saying, or not being told stuff at all, or you've been told things in a soft way where it ain't really hit you like it should hit you. Ain't nobody told you the truth about yourself. And this ain't coming from somebody who perfect. I ain't perfect. I'm far from it. You know what I'm saying? But I think at least for me, I know how to take accountability. And if a motherfucker telling me something, right, I'm not gonna take it where like they coming at me. You know what I'm saying? Just on a, because especially if it's right, what they saying is right, and then it's right. I can't. It is what it is. So um, it just don't operate in this new generation, unfortunately.